don't get yelled at. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we do have a public hearing to kick off the meeting, but before we do that, we have a couple of administrative functions related to this. So this is the Melody Lane conveyance. So before the public hearing, we each need to vote on some secret actions. So can I have a motion and a second to declare the Village of Woodbury Board of Trustees lead agency under secret, as there are no other involved agencies for this application?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Giacomazzo with the motion, trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I see Chris's hand, but nothing else.
Where is he?
Okay, very good. Need a motion and a second to type this action as unlisted under secret. Trustee Burek with the motion, trustee Graziano with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. And now I need a motion and a second to issue a negative declaration stating that this action would have no potential adverse impacts on the environment.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Giacomazzo with the motion,
I'll second.
trustee Graziano with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I vote aye.
Aye.
Okay, so now we'll have the public hearing to entertain comments concerning the discontinuance and conveyance of a portion of Melody Lane located off of Losey Lane from the Village of Woodbury to the Shops at Woodbury LLC. Said property is located within the Village of Woodbury. The public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on December 16th, 2020. So is there anyone in the public that has anything to say on this application? It's not a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead, Neil.
I do. And I just think that it's a small piece of property. And it will, I believe, benefit the project that's being discussed down there. And I know the previous board had already, I thought it had approved it. And I'm just in favor of the conveyance and stuff. So that's all.
Well, we did, but when it was Cabela's, so we had to do it over again with the new applicant. So thank you for that. Does Mrs. Kraus have anything she'd like to add?
No, thanks, Tim.
Okay, Robin. Anyone else in the public? There's only a few of you.
I agree with the Kraus family that it's Maria Hunter speaking, that this is a long time coming and that this is a proper thing to do for this project. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. Anybody else? Anybody from the applicant side? I see Steve, Dominic, and Saul. Okay. All right, with no further comments received, can I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing, please? Okay, trustee Burek with the motion. Tara, I think you muted yourself, or at least I didn't hear you.
Second.
Trustee Graziano with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay, so with that said, I'm now looking for a motion and a second to adopt the resolution to discontinue and convey a portion of Melody Lane to Shops at Woodbury LLC. However, I do believe, Kelly, where'd you go? Kelly had something to say on this, right, Kelly? There you are.
That was for the other resolution, but I do want to say to the board, I know that this is a lengthy resolution, so Tim's not going to be reading the whole thing into the record, but the board was provided with it in its entirety. Just for the public, it does say everything that Tim has gone over, and it's that the closing take place within 2 years from this resolution. So, you know, it's not going to happen tomorrow, just so everybody knows. But that was all I had to say about this one.
Okay, thank you for sparing me the lengthy.
It is quite long, I'm sorry.
Make a reading.
What was that?
Oh. Chris wants me to make you read it.
Oh, you want? Oh, actually, then if that's the case, I'll make Desiree do.
Oh, never mind.
All right.
Desiree will spare.
Can I have a motion in a second, please?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Giacomazzo with the motion, and I think I saw Jesus or Tara.
It was either one.
Okay, trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay. So now we can move to public comment on agenda items. Does anyone in the public have anything they'd like to say on the rest of the agenda before we move on? Okay, hearing nothing, we'll move on to administrative business. Looking for a motion and a second to accept the minutes of the meeting held December 10th, 2020.
Make the motion.
Trustee Graziano with the motion, trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I vote aye. Now I need a motion and a second to approve abstract number 14 containing vouchers 201121 through 201176, totaling $178,849.80.
That motion.
Trustee Gomez with the motion. Trustee Giacomazzo with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I vote aye. Okay, moving on to old business. So we have a couple of local laws that we're going to have to hold off on voting, and I'll explain why. So no further written comments were received from the public on local introductory local law number 12 ARB guidelines. However, a memo was received from the village engineer that was addressed to the members of the planning board dated December 11th, 2020, containing recommendations to be addressed in the law. Attorney Norton circulated the revised law yesterday, so the board cannot adopt the law this evening as it needs to be in our hands no less than 7 days prior to adoption. So with that said, we'll place this on the January 14th agenda.
And that's if the board wants to adopt all of the suggestions that the planning board set forth. If there's anything that you don't, let me know. I can take it out. I understand that they did have quite a lengthy discussion about them, both local laws. So I know that, you know, they spent a lot of time going through this since these are two local laws that they deal a lot with in your code. But like I said, I don't know if anybody had any questions or wanted any changes from the reports that were provided to you.
So why don't we take these one at a time with regard to ARB introductory local law 12? Does anybody have any questions, comments, or thoughts with regard to the planning board's recommendations? All right, then we'll move on to the next one. So the exact same thing applies to introductory local law 13, ridge preservation. Again, no further written comments were received from the public. A memo was received from the village engineer that was addressed to the members of the planning board dated December 11th, 2020, containing recommendations to be addressed in the law. Attorney Norton circulated the revised law yesterday. Again, the board cannot adopt the law this evening as it needs to be in our hands no less than 7 days prior to adoption. So this, along with 12, will be placed on the January 14th agenda.
Did anybody have any comments or revisions to the ridge preservation that was circulated? Nope. Okay, we tried. They were pretty straightforward, but they are substantive changes, which is what requires them to be on your desk is the way the law writes it, for 7 days prior to adoption. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. So we need to advertise for committee seats. At the last meeting, we adopted a motion to create a revitalization committee consisting of 9 to 11 members. We did not, however, authorize the village clerk to advertise for these positions. Can I please have a motion and a second to authorize the village clerk to advertise for letters of interest for individuals to serve on the village revitalization committee? Letters of interest are due to the village clerk by close of business on January 15th, 2021. Trustee Graziano with the motion, trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I vote aye. All right, so now on to 15 Julian Court. So this issue has been discussed at several meetings throughout the past year. After the discussion held at the last meeting, the board indicated we'd like to move forward and approve this connection from an out-of-area user. Attorney Norton has drafted an outside user sewer service agreement for the village and the owner of 15 Julian Court to execute. The board also needs to set the fee for this connection by amending the fee schedule to include an outside user charge. So I'll be looking for a motion and a second to amend the fee schedule by adding a consolidated sewer tax area outside user fee to be whatever the current tax rate is for the existing users plus a 10% administrative fee. The village clerk's office will invoice the property owner of the outside user parcel by June 1st of each year. If the amount is not paid by June 30th, a 5% late fee will be added in July. If not paid by July 31st, a 6% late fee will be added in August. If not paid by August 31st, a 7% late fee will be added in September. And if not paid by September 30th, an 8% late fee will be added in October. Any payment not received by October 31st will be re-levied onto the town and county tax bill. So again,
Mary again.
Yes.
I just want to, for the board to understand how that came up. That's how your village taxes are imposed under real property law. So we're just following the same schedule as we discussed when we came up with the dollar figure.
Thanks, Dennis.
Mhm.
Excuse me. All right, so now the first thing we're looking for is a motion to adopt the fee schedule as described.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Gomez with the motion, trustee Giacomazzo with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I vote aye. So now I'm looking for a motion and a second to type this as a type 2 action under secret. Trustee Giacomazzo with the motion, trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I vote aye. Okay, I now need a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to sign an outside user sewer service agreement with Solomon Ravi, owner of 15 Julian Court, tax map section 225, block 1, lot 3.1, to connect to the consolidated sewer area and pay an outside user fee per the fee schedule.
But before you get that motion, I just wanted to weigh in on this one. So I had sent the board members an updated redlined agreement. I did have one additional change. So in paragraph 3, which is on page 2, after the completion of the first sentence, I would insert the following language, which is the sewer superintendent shall be notified of any leaks or infiltration occurring in the lateral sewer line, and the repairs shall be either inspected by the village or proof of such repair provided to the satisfaction of the sewer superintendent, the cost of which shall be borne by the owner. So that would be included in paragraph 3. And then in paragraph 9, I had inserted 5 years, that the agreement's for 5 years. But I think that it should be a 5-year term, automatically renewable, except unless if there's a cancellation, it'd be within 6 months, because if they cancel, then they'll have to do soils testing, and that can be difficult in the winter. So I didn't make those changes yet to it because I wanted to run them past the board first. And if you're in agreement, I can update that paragraph 9, and you could do your motion subject to the changes discussed this evening. So I don't know if the board has any comment on that.
Kelly, I would only say that, am I muted?
Are you good?
Yes. Mickey's title is water wastewater administrator, not sewer superintendent. I don't know if that matters, but technically that's just,
Can you actually send that to me in an email? I think I referenced him as that twice, so I'll just fix that.
sure. Okay.
I discussed this with Kelly earlier, so does anybody have any questions of Kelly on this?
No? Okay, so then I'll modify that paragraph 9 as just mentioned, as well as correcting Mickey's title. Mickey, I know you're not on, but I apologize. And so you can go forth with your motion as amended this evening.
Okay, so now again, I'm looking for a motion in a second to authorize me to sign that agreement.
I'll make that motion.
I think trustee Gomez beat you to the punch, but we'll take the second from you, Andrew. I'm sorry. Hey, you know. Any discussion?
It's because I'm Italian, isn't it? Could be.
Sweater.
It's the sweater. Like Desiree said, it's the sweater.
Any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor? And I vote aye. All right, very good. So finally, we put that to bed. So now moving on to new business. So again, congratulations to Mr. Ravi and Dominic and Steve. I know you're there somewhere. Thank you for your input on this over the past several months. So on to new business. Thank you. So now on to new business. Excuse me, we need to schedule a special meeting for a water rates discussion. So I'm looking for a motion in a second to schedule a work session to be held at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, January 19th, 2021 to discuss water rates.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Burek with the motion. Trustee Graziano with the second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? And I vote aye. Very good. Now we need to advertise for bids. So I'm looking for a motion in a second to authorize the village clerk to advertise for bids for interior renovations of the building department building located at 19 Adams Street. Trustee Giacomazzo with the motion. Trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Now, last under new business, I need a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to sign an amended snow removal easement with ML and YD Inc. This easement is in connection with the Timber Trail subdivision. At the request of Orange and Rockland, the existing easement needs to be shifted approximately 10 to 20 feet. This motion also includes the authorization to file any related documents necessary related to the issue. Trustee Giacomazzo with the motion, Trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion or questions on this? Okay, all in favor? I
Aye.
vote aye. All right. That, believe it or not, concludes our regular business. So now we'll move on to public comment. For those few people remaining in the public, is there anybody that'd like to say something? Mr. Rabbit, Mrs. Kraus, Mr. Kraus, or Mrs. Hunter?
Yeah, I have one thing,
Go ahead, Neil.
and Rob is sitting there waiting for it. I want to congratulate Rob again, him and his crew on keeping the Village of Woodbury roads clear and stuff and safe for the residents. They did it once again. And Rob, that's probably why he's on there at the meeting here tonight, to hear it from everybody. But they continue to do an excellent job for Woodbury. They really do.
You notice he doesn't attend meetings in the summer, only in the winter when there's snow.
I know.
Okay, thank you, Neil. Does Robin have anything?
I just wanted to wish everybody a happy everything, and we'll see each other hopefully in the new year.
Happy everything. I like that. Okay, thank you. Mrs. Hunter, anything?
Nothing tonight. Everyone have a happy, healthy new year.
Thank you, Maria. Mr. Rabi, anything? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So there are no further members in the public, so now we'll just move on to board member and department head comment. So yes, Rob, I'd like to start by thanking you and your crew at the Highway Department for your usual outstanding job in clearing village streets after the storm last week.
Thank you.
I also want to congratulate Dave DeGroat for achieving 20 years of service in the Highway Department. We also have a 20-year anniversary in the Water and Sewer Department, which is Kevin Clardy. He reached that milestone this year as well. So thank you both for your 2 decades of service to the community. Special thanks also goes out to the Woodbury Police and Fire Departments for the first annual Candy Cane Run this past Saturday. This was a huge success. I think everybody enjoyed watching the trucks and police vehicles drive by, blowing the sirens with the kids waving. I think it was really great. Our neighborhood children really enjoyed that. As everyone has heard by now, the COVID vaccine is now available. The focus last week and this week is for healthcare providers. I'd like to take an aside and thank Senator Skoufis for contacting the governor on behalf of EMS to push him to put EMS back into phase 1A, that is. EMS was originally in 1A, but was dropped to 1B by the governor. Many people spoke out against the shift, and as a result, EMS is back in phase 1A. So hospital employees began getting the vaccine last week in limited numbers, and EMS is due for vaccinations beginning tomorrow throughout the state. Once healthcare personnel, EMS, medical examiners, funeral directors, and persons living and working in long-term care facilities are vaccinated, other essential workers will be next in line. After that will be adults with high-risk conditions and people over the age of 65 not already vaccinated in earlier phases. As more vaccine doses are shipped every day, the availability will ramp up very quickly. As a healthcare professional, I urge everyone to consider getting vaccinated. The sooner the majority of the population is vaccinated, the faster this pandemic will come to an end. Until then, please think twice before getting together outside of immediate family. It's tough to do that, especially during the holiday season, but a little sacrifice now will save lives later. For more information about the vaccine, you can go to covid19vaccine.health.ny.gov. And for a list of frequently asked questions, you can go to covid19vaccine.health.ny.gov/frequently-asked-questions. So with the holiday season now upon us, we already had Hanukkah, and later this week is Christmas, and of course next week is New Year's. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Thank you and good night. So now let's go down to the end of the dais if we have one. Trustee Graziano.
Thank you everybody for coming tonight. The year 2020 may have started out like any other normal year, but soon we all realized that would be a year unlike any other we've experienced in our lifetime. We quickly added new words and phrases to our vocabulary, such as coronavirus, COVID-19, social distancing, and flatten the curve. We've weathered shutdowns, we've weathered reopenings, travel bans, and phases. While no one could have expected a global pandemic to strike, we got through it together. I also want to thank all of our village employees and their department leaders for continuing to do all you do for our citizens, especially during the most trying of times. You've done it under difficult circumstances, you've done it safely, and you've done it professionally and well, as you always have. So I give you my thanks. Regardless of what 2021 throws at us, we can also handle that as long as we continue to work together for the common good of all of Woodbury. We need altruism, not ego. We need more we and us and less me and I. Please remember as you go through a holiday season that will be extremely tough on those who have lost so much to this pandemic, and keep a place open in your hearts for all of them. May 2021 bless you and your loved ones with health, prosperity, and happiness. And I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Trustee Gomez.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Oh,
I want to thank everyone for coming out to the meeting tonight. I also want to say a big thank you to all of the departments in our planning and zoning board that work for the village in service to our community. You all have made this crazy 2020 year a more tolerable one and made our job as village trustees so much easier. You all have gone above and beyond what is expected of you and have made this year another great one. Thank you so much. I also want to thank all our administrative staff who are always there to lend a helping hand to us and our community. We couldn't do it without you all. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and a happy new year to all. Please stay safe and healthy. Good night.
Thank you, Jesus. Trustee Burek.
Can you hear me, Tim? You can. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching tonight. First, I want to start off by also thanking our highway department and led by Rob Wyatt for doing an outstanding job with the snowstorm cleanup last Thursday. Thank you for your hard work and your diligence. And I heard you guys out there middle of the night every 2 hours or so. And thank you so much because the roads were safe, residents were safe, and everybody was able to get out and about. I also want to thank the Woodbury Fire Department and Police Department for the candy cane run this weekend. My kids were over the moon that they had candy canes thrown to them by the firefighters and Santa. It was really a great time, and didn't matter how cold it was. We didn't mind standing out there waiting. And as I reflect back on this past year, I am constantly reminded of how resilient we all are. And 2020 was a year of many firsts. First time being quasi-teachers to our distance learning children. First time for me not commuting to work every day in the city. First time working 100% remotely and being home every day with my loving husband and my 2 children. But last but certainly not least, I know for myself and CJ at least, it's first time as village trustees. And while this pandemic threw us many unknowns, I'd like to think that we all as a village did a great job turning those unknowns into opportunities. The disruption that 2020 thrust upon all of us did not hinder us from moving forward. And if you look at what the board has accomplished, comprehensive plan committees, land preservation committees, revitalization committees, watershed protection overlay district laws, code changes, just to name a few, we've been nonstop working through all of this, as well as all of our departments, to make sure we continue moving our village forward while keeping the best interest of our residents first and foremost in our minds. 2021 will likely begin as another challenging and different year, and also very difficult, but I can assure you that all of us here at the village will work harder than we did this past year. With all of our combined talents and ambitions, it will be an exciting year that I'm very much looking forward to. I wish all of our residents a happy holiday season, with the very best wishes being sent to you all for a healthy and prosperous new year. Thank you all very much and stay safe.
Thanks, Tara. Trustee Giacomazzo. You're muted.
One way to put
I got it. I unmuted myself. I'm good. Okay, take two. On December 31st of 2019, I posted the following on our Jacomazza Gomez trustee page. 2019, thank you for the lessons learned. 2020, let's do this. 2019 was certainly a learning experience under a very experienced board led by former Mayor Mike Queenan and Tim Egan and Tom Flood. I felt we had accomplished a lot in our first year in office. That being said, I was excited for what 2020 would bring to the village of Woodbury with the addition of two people I not only consider friends, but family. For many, 2020 will be a year we shall not forget anytime soon. Lives lost, familiar businesses gone, and the new normal. And yet this board continued about the business of governing, which I am very proud of. So what does that mean moving forward for the village of Woodbury? We will continue to move forward with a new agenda and continue to work to improve Woodbury. We are blessed to have a great department heads, great personnel working for us, and a great team here in the village of Woodbury. I would like to thank all our residents for all they do on a daily basis, especially during this time of year. I want to, hopefully everybody of the Jewish faith had a very happy Hanukkah. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Here's to 2021. Let's hope it's better. And by the way, air quotes will be the first code change of the new year. We'll be outlawing air quotes. Okay, no more.
Was that for
Motion
me?
and a second to outlaw air quote. No, I'm just kidding.
Air quotes. No more air quotes.
Thanks, Andrew. Very nice. Let's go to
I
department.
didn't realize they were an epidemic. Was that a?
They are.
Air quotes and epidemic.
It's
They are?
it's that bad, yes. In certain
Oh.
states, Wyoming, because the Dakotas, air quotes,
Already outlawed, huh?
outlawed, yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was the only one that did them tonight, so now that's like,
all
Two
your
in one
fault.
night. Look, I'm doing it.
Now we can't-
Everybody just do air quotes.
All right, let's move on to Rob. You have anything? Okay, thanks, Rob. Desiree?
I just want to say I wasn't able to attend the last meeting because I had a family issue arise. And of course, that was the meeting where you debated whether to accept my mother's resignation or not. It's been fun my entire adult life working in the same environment as my mother. She's taught me a lot and I've learned a lot from her. And taxes have been my entire life growing up. Since I was 13, I think we calculated was when she started. And it's going to be very weird come January, somebody else doing that job. And I'm sure the person who does it for the town will do a great job. I know Claudia, who's taken over it in my office for the village, was trained by the best because my mom is the best, I think, anyway. But now she does something to do. So maybe you guys can get her to volunteer on one of these committees or something, because I need her to be busy because I don't have time to keep up with her. She's way too energetic for me.
That's George's job. That's George's job to keep.
Hey,
Wow,
today was her
wow.
birthday, by the way. So happy
Yes.
birthday to my mom.
He turned 37.
Close. But I didn't have a chance to acknowledge my mom last meeting because I couldn't make it. So I just wanted to say that she's a great woman, and I'm looking forward to trying to spend more time with her now that she has some free time. Unless you can really get her on something, so work on it.
By the way, Desiree, I refused to accept her resignation, but I
Okay.
was outvoted by the rest of the
Oh.
board. Especially, you got to
All
hear
right.
some of the things that Tara Burek said about your mom. Oh my!
Well,
Did you watch the tape of that?
I did, yeah, I did, and I honestly I appreciate all the kind words that you said about her. I mean, it was almost as nice as the kind words you all say about Rob all the time. So it was up there.
Almost.
Almost. But I just wanted to get my 2 cents in. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm done.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah. No, that's it.
Okay, Kelly, you have anything?
well, I guess I have to thank Rob again. But
Even though you don't live in town.
but other than that, just that 2020 has been a rough year, but a good year and a productive year. And I just wish everybody a happy holiday. That's it.
Thank you. So with no further business to discuss or comments received, looking for a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. Trustee Gomez with the motion. Trustee Burek with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? And I vote aye. See everybody next year, except for you
Merry
guys.
Christmas, Happy New Year.
Okay.